Hi creatives, I am Dima and you're welcome to another interesting sewing tutorial. On today's tutorial, I'll be sharing with you how to draft this beautiful corset with illusion Queen Anne neckline. This dress was originally designed by Vicky James for JP 2025, okay? And I thought to myself, why not share with my community here how this can be drafted and also how to go about putting it together. I will explain that, but I did not sew it. So this is all about pattern drafting, how you can draft the turtleneck, everything you need to do to make this dress. That is what is explained in this tutorial. So right here is the turtleneck and you can see what it looks like. So to draft this pattern, I had to go ahead and start with my plain paper and of course my ruler. I ruled a horizontal line there and then marked shoulder measurement divided by 2 at 2 positions and then marked a vertical line. After that, I'll go ahead and take the basic neckline measurement, that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and I connected just as you can see me do right here. So after that, I'll drop here by 1 inch and connect straight to the neckline. So the next is to mark the bust measurement divided by 4. If your bust is 40, divided by 4 is 10. So that is what you mark here and rule a vertical line as well. So after that, we'll go ahead and mark our armhole. So to mark armhole, measure 5 and come in by 3/4 and go ahead and mark the half of your armhole measurement. Armhole is around the hand, where the hand attaches to the body, that is measuring it round and adding 2 inches to your measurement. I will put a link in the description box for you to view a basic pattern making, that is a basic bodice block making. Okay, so what I just marked right here is the half length, front half length. Okay, go ahead and mark yours and take the bust level. For me here is 11.5 and bust to bust 3.5. Bust to bust is 7, so I took 3.5, which is half of 7. So I dropped here by 1 inch and connected to my dart leg. Yes, the dart leg I marked earlier, okay, which is half inch. Now here is on the bust. You can still measure it from your shoulder line down. Okay, so rule a horizontal line there, just as you can see me do, and take 1/4 inch this way and 3/4 this other way. Okay, so after taking it that way, I'll go ahead and come out here by 1/4 and connect to the under bust tightening. So that is what I did right here, and I had to connect this to the bust point as well. So after connecting it, this is what it looks like. So the next thing is to go ahead and draft the princess line, because this dress was made with a princess cut. Yes, because I saw the process video, it was made with a princess cut. So you connect like this and go ahead and connect to the 1 inch. Yes, I dropped it by 1 inch here to form a sort of that. So this is the side bust dart of 1.5, because the difference between the front and the back half length is 1.5. So that is what forms the side bust dart. So you go ahead and take your corset length, which is 23 inches for me. If your client is quite tall, you can take it to 23.5 or 24. So I ruled a vertical line there and I had to go ahead and take 3.5 as well, which is bust to bust, and completed my darts just as you can see me do. Aside what I'm saying, just watch closely and you'll understand every bit of what I am doing. Okay, so this is how I drew the darts, and yes, you can see the process, and is that easy. Now the next thing to do is to go ahead and mark the waist measurement plus that intake of 1 1/4. Yes, now I'll connect this to this line, to this bust line by the side. I had to measure 8.5 inches and take the hip measurement. Now I like to use this to shape the hem of my corset so that it will be very nice. Okay, so after that, you can see me using it to connect or shape the corset hem. Okay, hip, the blouse hip, but I didn't take it to the hip line. So come up here by 1 inch and connect back to the hemline. So where I am shading will be going off at the end of this tutorial. Now the next thing is to go ahead and extend this by 1 inch, just as you can see me do, and connect back to the armhole. So you can use this curve to do it, or you use your free hand to connect it. Whichever way works for you is fine. Okay, so after doing that, I'll go ahead and do the neckline styling. So you have to choose how deep you want this plunge to be. You have to choose this right now, and then go ahead and draw the sweetheart neckline, which eventually had a Queen Anne neckline illusion. I hope you understand. So you are going to see all that in this tutorial. I had to go up by about 2 inches and then connect like this with my curved rule. Okay, so go ahead and curve like this, and then you can complete the rest with freehand, and you can see what it looks like. Now after doing that, I felt it was like far from what it is, like is so covered. So I want to get exactly the design, the perfect pattern that was made here. So I had to come in more and cleaned the earlier line. So I think this was nice, so I had to continue with it. So as you're making your pattern, watch closely. Any fault you notice anywhere, just try and control it and get your perfect draft. So this is me trying to get the perfect curve for that plunging sweetheart neckline. So after doing that, I am going to go ahead and draw. So you know that there is an illusion mesh there, that is chantilly, that is put as illusion. So that is what I'm drawing right here. So you can see the first one I drew like sweetheart will be in nude, while this one I drew now will be chantilly placed on top of the nude. I hope you understand. So as we progress, I will explain more. So after measuring there, I got 2.5 inches here. So feel free to do what works for you. So after doing that, I had to label this chantilly, because that placement is going to be chantilly. I will explain more as we progress in this tutorial. Here will be nude mesh. All those places will be nude mesh, while the chantilly will be placed on top of it. I hope this makes sense. So now I'm going ahead to draft the back pattern. So rule a line, just a starting line, nothing serious, and mark shoulder measurement divided by 2. Go ahead and mark a vertical line like this. After marking it, I'll measure here 3. I measured 3 by 3, but please, while making yours, make 3 by half. Yes, because it's a turtleneck and this is back neckline. I will correct it in the long run. I'm just saying it now. So here I dropped by 5. I came in by half, and here I am correcting the neckline. I actually took one here because I wasn't like, if you want to make it without a bishop collar or a turtleneck, you can go by this, but then if you want a turtleneck, just take 1/2 inch drop there. So what I'm taking now is the back half length. So go ahead and take your back half length and draw like this. Okay, so after drawing, I will do back tightening, and from the back tightening I will connect, just as you can see me do. So watch closely. I'm going to start from the shoulder tip to the across back, and then measure half of my armhole measurements, and then go ahead and connect like this. So right here, I'm measuring the waist measurement plus 1/2 inch dart intake, because the dart at the back is half. So after that, you can see how I connected it, because it passed the bust line a little bit at the side. So after that, I'll go ahead and measure the back corset length. The front was 23, so this back is 21.5, because the difference between the front and the back length is 1.5. I hope this makes sense. So go ahead and rule your line there and connect the tightening back down. So the shaping here is the hip level, hip measurement divided by 4, and I am connecting this to the waistline. So I'm cleaning here because we don't need that connection to the hip. Yes, it's just a landmark to help us to shape the hem or the hip of the blouse. So after doing that, this is what we have. You go ahead and do your back styling. Okay, so what you do is to measure the same level you got for the front. I measured about 4.5 inches, and yes, this is the back styling, and of course it has an inner corset. So if you want to style it differently, you can see the drawing I have there. I just tried to style the back differently, but if you don't want, this first styling is just perfect. So right here I will go in by 3 inches, just in case you want to do a corset, like you want to lace the back. Even if you don't want to lace the back, you can trace out this part of the corset to use and do an inner corset. Yes, I have a tutorial on inner corset, and I'll be putting the link as well in the description box or at the end screen so that you can see it and know how this can be easily done. So after that, I have to shape the hemline by going up by one and connecting, just as you can see me do. I did the same in front as well. So after doing that, I'll just go ahead and cut out. So note that if you want it to be a zipper, you don't need to do this corset tightening. Okay, here I'm lifting this neckline by 1/2 inch again. So that means it's 1/2 inch drop and the width is 3 1/4, because it will be carrying a turtleneck. Here in the tutorial, I'll be sharing with you how to draft a turtleneck, but I will also put the link to several turtleneck tutorials that I have on the channel, just in case you want to see the different ways of making your turtleneck. So after that, I will go ahead and cut out. So this is how you're going to cut out if what you need is just the corset part. But please, if you know that you want it completely the way it is appearing on the bride, go ahead and use it that way without cutting out the center back and all of that. So the dart will be there. You just curve the line the way I cut it out and insert your dart. That means the back of this dress will be in pieces if you do that, but that is fine. Just label your pieces and put your notches right and you're good to go. So here I have cut out the front and you can see what it looks like. So I'll go ahead and trim out all of these places. Yes, you can see what I have. This is the yoke, this is the center front, and this is the side. So I'll go ahead and cut this side open and close up the side bust dart. So that's exactly what you're going to do, and after all of this, we'll go to the back. So here you can see the front pattern. The yoke will be illusion mesh. It will be mesh, okay? So it will be skin tone mesh for this yoke, while the chantilly will be placed on top of it. So I'll show you what to do so that you get exactly what you want. So this is the front pattern and this is the back pattern, just as you can see. Isn't this gorgeous? If you want the back to be plain the way it was before I style the back, go ahead and use it that way. So here I am tracing out where the chantilly will be. You can see the part I'm tracing out for the front right here. So I used my tracing wheel to trace it out. So I'm cutting it out because I can see my trace. So I had to go ahead and cut it out. You can as well mark it up with a marker. I would have marked it so that you see exactly the shape I'm cutting out, cutting out. So here I shaded it because this is the chantilly and it's going to be on the surface like this. Yes, this is how you're going to place it on the yoke before you even start attaching it to the bustier parts of this dress, the lower parts. Okay, you first attach your chantilly to the nude mesh before you connect to the lower part. Yes, that is how it works. So this is the front pattern. Of course, you're going to cut it out with 1/2 inch all through, aside the side, which you'll be cutting with 1 inch or 1.5 inches. So this is what I got for the front, and you can see how beautiful it's looking. Go ahead and cut it on fabric, and trust me, it's going to come out perfect. Do that and thank me later. Okay, so this is the back and you can see how far I have styled it. Feel free to leave it in the original state of styling if you do not want opening at the back or you don't want lacing bars at the back. Okay, so this is what I have at the end of the day. So this is the front pattern. Here I am putting all of them together so that you see exactly what it looks like. So this pattern set is going to give you exactly the corset of this wedding dress, and of course you're going to style the skirts on it the way you please. I hope this makes sense. Okay, so this is the pattern set, and if you've not subscribed to my channel at this stage, do well to do so and turn on your notification bell to be the first to know each time I upload my videos. You will not regret it. Here I share detailed videos that are equally easy to understand. So right here, I will go ahead and show you how to measure for your turtleneck, and also go ahead and show you how to make a turtleneck collar. So I will go by measuring the front and then the back. You can see my measurements as is appearing on the screen. So whatever measurement you get, divided by multiply it by 2. So for the front is 5, 5 times 2 is 10. For the back is 3.5, 3.5 times 2 is 7. So total measurement is 10 plus 7, which is 17. So half of 17 is what I'm measuring right here. So half of 17 is 8.5. Anywhere that gives you 8.5 is where you're going to mark like this, okay? After marking it, check the measurement from that apex and measure it round. I hope you understand. After measuring it round, go ahead and connect these points just as you can see me do. So that is how to do your turtleneck. I believe you saw how I folded this on triangle. Go ahead and take the height of the turtleneck you want. What I measured here is 1.5. Note that the paper is folded on bias or triangle. Yes, that is how you're going to fold your paper to cut the turtleneck using the style that I used. So when I opened it up, this is what it looks like. Now that is why I multiplied by 2, because we are cutting with half of our pattern, not the full pattern. So right here, I'm shaping up the center front. Now I'm reducing it as well because it is lace trimmings that we are used on the turtleneck. Yes, this turtleneck, you will not see the base, but yes, it has to have a base. It has to have a base to give you that standing structure, but it is not seen in this very corset because you're going to cut it with nude mesh. You're going to do everything concerning this turtleneck with nude so that nobody will see it, while less trimmings from the chantilly was then placed on the neckline, just as you can see in the pinned picture. I hope this makes sense. So after doing all of that, this is what I have, and I had to just go ahead and walk it around the collar to see what it looks like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment, and do well to subscribe and turn on your notification bell to be the first to know each time I upload my videos. Trust me, you will not regret it. So I had to stick the shoulder here, just more like looking like I stitched it, and I had to go ahead and fit the turtleneck on it. So after attaching the turtleneck to the dress, you can go ahead and put on top of it the lace trimmings. Yes, you're going to put it on top and nobody is going to see the base of the turtleneck because the height is going to be like 3/4. So it will be in a way that the lace trimming will cover the turtleneck, because that turtleneck has to serve as a base if you want to achieve exactly what we are making. And for the placement on the yoke, the nude mesh, you know that the chantilly is placed on top of it to give the illusion Queen Anne neckline. Okay, on that line as well, you are going to place lace trimmings from the chantilly, just as you can see in the video. Thanks for watching, guys, and of course I will see you in my next one. Love you all. Bye.